Hello everybody and welcome back to Projectotron, the prediction site with a difference. The Premier League has returned and today we're going to be focusing on one of Sunday's games, Liverpool against Southampton. Rory, big changes at Liverpool.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Exciting new
changes.
times?
Yeah. They signed, exciting new times, exciting new signs. They signed the three L's of Southampton. Lambert, Lallana and then Lovren.
I like that.
They've signed,
That's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. They signed half of Southampton's, big players. They signed all of Southampton's big players.
Yeah, basically they missed out on Luke Shaw and,
and
they didn't get Jay Rodriguez because his knee is banjaxed.
And Pochettino even left before anybody, so Southampton have been gutted. And they brought in Ronald. I have 4 or 5 players behind me with knives, Coleman. Whatever about the sense of that managerial signing, I'm not a fan.
Koeman was excellent at Benfica with a bunch of excellent players. Mm-hmm. And then after that he went to Valencia
with a bunch of excellent
players and was pretty poor. And then
generous, that description.
Yeah. And then after that and he helped bankrupt the club. And then after that he went back to Holland. Mm-hmm. And didn't win anything in the Eredivisie.
It's true.
And then he got fired. And now he's at Southampton. There's a definite downward trend.
Was there no one else? Well, I mean, was there no one else that Southampton could have gotten? I mean, I don't know who's available. Get AVB back, anyone.
AVB's living the high life in Russia
getting a lot of money,
with all the racists.
Yes. It's a terrible thing to call Zenit, but also accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all doom and gloom for Southampton. I think it's all optimistic for Liverpool. They spent an awful lot of money on these guys.
They spent an awful lot of money on these guys, but it was all borrowed money. It's already money from Barcelona. It's not their money at all.
Well, I mean, Liverpool did have a transfer, a war chest.
Yeah, but they're still in profit for the summer, are they not? Depending on the fee you believe for
Suarez. I think they're down, but maybe down by 9 million. I think that's probably a hit they can afford to take.
Yeah.
Liverpool have strengthened over the summer. And now they're coming up against the team that they have weakened most over the summer, which is why this is such a tasty looking encounter. I think in this match, I actually think we're not going to see too many changes from the Liverpool team of last season.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see probably 10 of the same starting 11 coming out, 9 or 10. You'll see the Southampton players. Lallana's injured. Lambert might come off the bench. I think I don't see him starting
for Liverpool.
For Liverpool, yeah, and I don't see Lovren start. He might start, but I think Rodgers will want to keep the same core together, and he'll want Liverpool to come out angry and firing and really, really going for this game. This could be very, very bad for Southampton, and I think it will be very, very bad for Southampton. I'm going to predict a 5-0 rollicking here. 5-0.
Boom! Season is here.
Yes, that's how excited I am. Maybe I'm a little overexcited. But, I mean, if you look at the ingredients that Liverpool have had, they have the same core team as last year, minus Suarez. And they've brought in a handful of new players. I don't think they're going to rock the boat. It's not going to be like the opening day match against Stoke last year, where they tried a few new things, started a few new players. Liverpool have the same system. They got the same players who are, who you'd hope are going to be hungrier, considering how last season ended. How a lot of them went to the World Cup for England and that was disappointing. They're going to want to bounce back from that. I can see Liverpool really coming out of the traps here and really decimating a team who have to find their identity again.
Yeah, I think identity is very important because Liverpool, I think identity is the key word for them. They know their identity now. At the start of last season, people weren't really sure what to think of Liverpool. Were they going to be an exciting, raw-paced team that we saw after Christmas of the previous season? Mm-hmm. Were they going to try and be a controlled possession team like Rodgers had at Swansea? And then they found themselves as the season progressed. And they became this exciting, fast-paced team that were so good that it ended up being the template for England's disastrous World Cup. Enough of the World Cup, though. Because one thing that Liverpool definitely have, regardless of who they've brought in, is a solid identity. They know who they are, they know how they want to play, and they know what they're going to do. With Southampton, I think as much as you want Lambert to be there, and as much as you'd like Lallana to still be there, they were always going to go. They were always going to be gutted after the fantastic season they had last year. The biggest loss for them, I think, of all of their transfers away is going to be Lovren, because last year when Lovren went from defence, it unsurprisingly coincided with Southampton's slide down the table and their dropping off in clean sheets. He was an absolute leader in the defence, in what is a very young defence, and what remains a very young defence.
He really marshalled them, though. You can see very, very visibly leading the team on
exactly,
the pitch.
Yeah. Worryingly for fans of English football and for Southampton, Koeman is not the only person who's come over from Holland. They've also strengthened with Graziano Pelle,
yes,
who was top scorer in Eredivisie last year. Which anyone who looks at the record of top scorers in the Eredivisie, Bonnie aside,
well, I mean, Liverpool signed a top scorer from the Eredivisie a few years ago. He did okay, so yeah.
Well, they also signed one before that.
They also signed one before that. Yeah. I know they don't have. It's more miss than hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Eredivisie, so.
And another import from Eredivisie in Dusan Tadic as well, who many people pegged to light up the summer and then hopefully get a big move. But the biggest move he could get was Southampton. So they haven't strengthened hugely in any area, and I think that I can't see them doing anything. There's now the controversy with Schneiderlin. He doesn't want to show up and play for them because he's trying to force a transfer away. The club just seems in a mess, and I think that's going to show.
The one thing you could say for Southampton is there's opportunity there. If there are players here who are hungry and they want to make an impression in the Premier League, they're probably going to get their chance because there's no one ahead of them. So these guys who come in like Pele and Tadic.
Yeah, there's no one ahead of them, but there's also no one behind them. So if someone fails, there are no options. It'll be interesting as well to see if any of the younger players are going to step up and stake a claim to be a 30-40 game a season guy now. But I don't see Southampton, not just on the pitch, but I mean the club institutionally seems to be an absolute mess as well. And I think that you're probably right that it's going to be a hockey. And I fancy Liverpool probably to put 3 past them. I could see it 3-0.
Okay.
I think 5, maybe a bit ambitious, but 3-0, I'm okay with that.
Liverpool did it plenty of times last season, so the possibilities there. But 3, maybe first game.
Oh, you think I'm being a bit too safe?
I think you're being. Well, I will be the dangerous one this time.
All right,
one time in a million, I'll be dangerous.
What about Projectotron? Projectotron
is being even safer. It's reneged on what it felt about Arsenal and Man City back in the Charity Shield, Community Shield. Begging your pardon. And it reckons this is going to be a 2-0 victory for Liverpool against Southampton. Nice steady start to the season. Goal early for Liverpool just to settle the nerves, and a goal late on just to confirm the result. With Sturridge knocking it in. Big surprise, he started last season very well for Liverpool, knocking in a lot of 1-0s. And with new signing Lazar Markovic getting the second for Liverpool with 15 minutes to go. So 2-0. I think we've got a full house here of Liverpool.
Okay.
A collective score of 10-0 if we were to play all 3 games at once for Liverpool.
If only the Premier League allowed such a game.
If you're going to bring in goal line technology, you can bring in this. Come on.
Okay, there you have it. A clean sweep for Liverpool from the Projectotron crew. Rory is going with a 5-0 rollicking for Liverpool. I'm going with a slightly more conservative 3-0 win for Liverpool. And Projectotron completes the shutout for Southampton with a 2-0 win. Don't forget to join us next week when we'll be looking at more Premier League matches. After that, we're going to be moving on to NFL and Champions League games as well. So keep it here at Projectotron for all the best advice. We look forward to seeing you then. And until then, enjoy the football.